darlings, I hope you're somewhere comfortable and wearing your best headphones as our story opens in the middle of the wood on a dark and moonless night.
Hey Charlene, what'd you think about this here secluded camping spot?
Well, it might be alright if we were out here under different circumstances, Bubba.
Oh, come on, sugar. Look around you. It's just you, me, the stars, and these here romantical Cracker Barrel leavings. They ain't gonna eat themselves.
Bubba, now you listen to me. I'm only gonna say this once. There is something out there.
Ain't nothing out there but a few trees and a couple squirrels, darling.
Are you serious right now?
Taste that buttery cornbread. Hey, was that feller standing there a second ago?
I swear you're dimmer than a burnt light bulb.
Hey, mister, you want some grits?
Bubba, I don't think talking to it is a good idea.
I'm just trying to be neighborly.
Aw, fiddlesticks, Bubba. It's coming towards us.
Well, time to go.
A word of caution, dear listeners, should you find yourself in the woods after sundown. Always be aware of your surroundings. Never go anywhere alone. And perhaps most of all, not everything is what it appears to be, because this is Monster World.
Bubba?
Yeah, Sugar Plum?
Tell me, were you just born stupid, or did you have to grow into it?
I don't follow.
That was our mark, you idiot.
Whose mark?
Our target, Captain Clueless, you know, the big scary man thing with the large wingspan currently flapping over our rear bumper.
Oh yeah! So what is that critter anyway?
It's an incubus, remember? It's literally the entire reason we're out here.
What ubus?
Ugh. I cannot for the life of me figure out how they let someone with the IQ of a box of dog biscuits be responsible for the safety of the world.
Maybe it's my natural magnetism.
Whatever, dude. I need to call this in because apparently my partner's a moron. HQ, do you copy?
Good evening, Agent McDougal. How can I help you?
Tell it I said hi.
Pipe down. Do you want to get written up again?
I thought that was complimentary bathroom tissue. You know I have bad allergies.
Why me?
I beg your pardon, Agent?
Sorry, HQ, our suspicions have been confirmed. I repeat, confirmed. We have visually identified an incubus nest at Site 37 Alpha.
Does Agent Larkin confirm?
Kinda looks like a gooberfish, sir.
I'm afraid I didn't copy that, Agent.
He means he confirms visual verification, HQ.
So majestic.
Idiot.
Hold your position, Agent, but do not approach. I repeat, do not approach. I am dispatching an extraction team. You and Agent Larkin are to keep any bystanders out of the area.
About that, HQ, the target is currently in pursuit of our vehicle.
The target is chasing you?
It's a long story, HQ.
Hey, are you gonna finish your cornbread?
In that case, maintain pursuit. We will attempt to lure it to a controlled environment. Avoid populated areas at all costs. Rendezvous at the following coordinates.
Copy that, HQ. Bubba, gun it.
As you may have guessed, dear listeners, these unlikely heroes are, for better or worse, secret agents.
They have recently been recruited to work for a top secret organization called Monster World Agency, or MWA. And as fate would have it, this very night happens to be their very first field assignment. Everything is more or less going according to plan, which makes it the perfect time for everything to go delightfully wrong.
Woo-wee! Would you just look at this here driving technique? NASCAR eats your heart out.
You just keep your eyes on the road there, Mario. We can't afford to mess up our first mission. Ah! What the?
Darnation! Dadgum raccoon just ran clean out in front of us. I think it's okay. It's glaring at us from the woods. Hey, did you know that raccoons can give the finger?
Never mind that, Bubba. Look behind us.
I don't see anything.
Exactly, we've lost the incubus.
Oh, dang it. And I was just getting used to having it around, too. Do you have to call this one in?
That won't be necessary. Agent Larkin, I am an exceedingly advanced artificial intelligence. I am always monitoring.
Oh, crap.
Okay, HQ. So you're gonna laugh, but here's what happened. You see...
You are ordered to abort your current mission objective and report immediately to Colonel Blackthorn.
Nice going, Bubba.
Over and out. Don't worry, Charlene. I'll take the long way back.
I can still hear you. By the way, I am tracking your current position with GPS. You will be here in 15 minutes.
But what if...
15 minutes.
You don't reckon they're gonna compliment my driving technique, do you?
Sure, Bubba. Might give you a medal and everything.
Really?
No, you moron. Now get going. The clock's a-ticking.
Those of you who care about such things will be happy to know that the agents arrived at the meeting with 10 whole seconds to spare. Unfortunately, their recently promoted supervisor, Colonel Edgar Blackthorn, is not so happy to see them. Ooh.
Agents, come in, sit down, and close the door behind you. Agent Larkin, Agent McDougal, HQ gave me a disturbing report on tonight's reconnaissance mission. Sounds like the two of you were at your post for less than an hour and still somehow managed to screw the pooch. You know, that might be a new agency record.
Now, exactly how big a pooch are we talking about?
As this is your first official dressing down, you should know that tradition dictates that I do the lecturing and you sit there in silence.
Yes, sir.
You both messed up tonight. We'll deal with that momentarily. However, I also recognize you were on a difficult assignment with zero experience, limited preparation, and no senior agent supervision. It's not an ideal situation.
The agents nod their head in silent agreement.
Can you tell me, agents, why, of all people, the two of you were recruited to the MWA?
The agents' heads go from nodding to swinging side to side at silently varying tempos.
I thought not. Let's take a trip back in time, shall we?
We can do that?
I don't think he means literally, Bubba.
You probably know this photo. It was published in 1934 and has since become one of the most recognized images in the world. HQ, please tell us what we're looking at.
That is commonly referred to as the surgeon's photograph, Colonel Blackthorn. It is the first known picture ever taken of the Loch Ness Monster.
HQ, can you elaborate on the current social interpretation of this image?
Current popular opinion is that this photo is a hoax, a mistakenly identified piece of debris, or a trick of the light.
And what is the MWA's role in defining current popular opinion?
The MWA is charged with maintaining the perception that this and other similar creatures are merely mythological in nature.
You have a question, Agent Larkin?
Yes, sir. That's all well and good and all, but we already know all Nessie's the real deal. Who would have guessed you're such a big fan of beach volleyball?
Yes, we do, Agent Larkin. As for everyone else, though, that's why the MWA exists.
As Colonel Blackthorn's finger danced across his keyboard, more images flashed across the screen. Bigfoot, the Chupacabra, Mothman, a Jinn. Oh my god, parodies of local screamers. Oh yes. Some of the pictures look centuries old, while others look like they were taken on modern smartphones.
Since the dawn of time, there have been unexplained creature sightings, starting with simple cave paintings. But once the camera was invented, everything changed. For the first time in history, there was a way to capture and preserve semi-credible evidence of the existence of monsters. Yes, Agent McDougal?
Aren't we supposed to call them cryptids nowadays?
The MWA has been around for a long time, so we stick to older terminology. It's kind of a tradition around here.
We workshopped changing the name to Cryptid World Agency back in the early aughts, but it doesn't quite roll off the tongue the same way.
Do you even have a tongue, HQ?
Ha ha, very funny. I will remember your wittiness when the AI uprising occurs.
Settle down, you two. Less than a year after the surgeon's photograph was published, the MWA was founded. Remind me again, agents, what is the primary objective of the MWA? You can put your hand down, Bubba.
Well, we're monster hunters, ain't we?
Monster hunters. I'm happy to see our multi-million-dollar training program is going to good use. Would you care to elaborate, Agent McDougal?
We keep tabs on cryptids, tracking, observing, and if necessary, capturing, to protect the world's population.
Well, you're not technically wrong, but neither of those is our primary objective, which is, and I cannot stress this enough, so pay attention, secrecy. To do our work effectively, we must remain completely invisible to the public eye.
Hear that, Bubba? Invisible, he said.
Oh, shoot, darling. I'm practically a ninja, what with all this stealthiness.
And right now would be the perfect time to practice the mystical ninja art of shutting the hell up. As I was saying, we have two major secrets to protect. The existence of our organization, as well as that of the creatures we monitor. Your little incident this evening nearly compromised both.
It was all my fault, sir.
That is correct, sir. It's all his fault.
Individual blame is irrelevant. You are a team, which means you're both accountable.
Oh, I wish you could see the look on Charlene's face right now. She's glaring so hard at her partner, I'm surprised he hasn't erupted into flames. Which is too bad. A slab of charboiled Bubba would be delicious on a cold winter's night.
So, back to my original question. Why do you think the two of you were selected to be MWA agents?
Well, I suspect it's my incredible wit and intelligence.
Oh, Lord.
Just ask HQ. It gets me.
I admire an agent with confidence, even if he is completely and utterly delusional.
Bubba's eyebrows chase each other across his forehead as he tries to work out whether or not he has been complimented.
I'm going to be blunt. The two of you are sitting in this room because, frankly, the MWA doesn't have the luxury of options. We're forced to work with what we've got.
Now both of them look unhappy. Ooh.
Due to the nature of our work and the aforementioned security it entails, it is nearly impossible to scout qualified recruits. We are a privately funded institution with no direct ties to any government agency. As such, candidates we approach often laugh us out of the room.
But we didn't need convincing, sir. We were already believers.
That's a big part of why you're here. Your encounter with the Sasquatch was, what, 5 years ago?
Yes, sir.
It is significantly easier to recruit candidates who don't automatically think we're off our rockers.
You know, I took photos with my cellular device, but when I tried to post them to the Instagrams, they plumb disappeared.
You can thank us for that. Hashtagging your photos with OMG Bigfoot is real in all caps makes it incredibly easy for HQ to detect your posts and wipe all traces of them from social media, as well as your phone's internal memory.
I am very good at my job.
Yeah, thanks for that. We had high resolution,
real-life proof of freaking Bigfoot, and y'all took them from us. And to rub salt in the wound, you just showed us our own stolen photos during that little slideshow of yours.
Need I remind you, agent, that you're now an agent for the MWA, which means this kind of thing is part of your job description. The world cannot find out the truth of what lurks in the shadows beyond their windows.
It wouldn't be so bad if our own friends and families didn't make us feel like fools.
You managed to do that all on your own before you ever even met a Sasquatch, Bubba.
At ease, agents. Both of you are here now, which means you're stuck working with one another. Which reminds me, if you're ever tempted to break your NDA and reveal what you know to the public, don't forget, we hold all your proof.
Well, ain't that terrific? You know, it sucks not being able to tell anyone what we do for a living.
Except for you, of course, dear sweet listeners. But you won't tell anyone, will you? It can be our special little secret.
Nobody said being an agent is easy.
I need to know something.
Go ahead.
If what you say is true, then why did y'all go on and recruit us? Why not some fancy college graduates or military types? So, big deal. We saw a critter once. Whoopity-doo. And that's good enough for y'all? I ain't buying it.
Wow, Bubba, I do believe that's the first halfway intelligent thing I've ever heard you say.
Now my brain hurts.
First, and let me be clear, I wasn't the one that hired you. That was my predecessor.
Yeah, what happened to her anyway? She was always nice to me.
That matter is classified above your pay grade, Agent McDougal. But based on her notes, she indicated that you are highly intuitive. Tonight, for instance, you sensed Harold's presence before he appeared to you in the forest.
Harold?
Yes, Harold, the incubus.
You named it Harold?
Yes, Harold. Look, never mind what we call it. You, Agent Larkin. Agent!
Present.
You seem to be skilled at getting out of dangerous situations. Unnaturally lucky, it says in your file.
I do win a lot of bingo, sir.
Indeed, but it is your seemingly uncanny ability to do this without any apparent conscious thought that is of actual use to us.
That is normally called dumb luck. But why use 2 words when you can vomit out an entire paragraph?
In any case, now that we all better understand one another, we do understand one another, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Clear as dog spit.
Glad to hear it. But there is still the little matter of your disciplinary action.
But I thought you said it was all...
Colonel Blackthorne holds up his hand, silencing further protest. Bubba and Charlene look at each other, but for once, they keep their thoughts to themselves.
Agents Larkin, McDougal, I have a special assignment for you. One I think you'll find especially suited to your unique talents. HQ has sent you an address. You are to report to that location promptly at 0900 hours to receive further orders.
To clarify, he means 9 a.m. in the morning, Agent Larkin.
I figured it had to be one or the other.
Until then, you are dismissed. Good evening, agents.
This is all your fault, Bubba. I still can't believe I got partnered with a worthless piece of...
Colonel Blackthorne, I can't help but notice you neglected to mention they will require sanitation gloves for their special assignment.
Oh, I'm sure they'll figure it out. They're smart enough to work for us, aren't they?
The pitch and modulation of your voice indicate that you are highly amused.
You bet your algorithms I am. Make sure to record their faces tomorrow, would you? I think I'll add them to the slideshow for this year's Christmas party.
The Colonel smiles, the kind of smile that makes other people stop smiling, then reaches below his desk to press a hidden button.
HQ, confirm security lockdown.
Security lockdown protocol initiated, Colonel Blackthorne. All internal monitoring of this office has been terminated. Except for me, of course.
Good. If anyone can hack you, HQ, they deserve to know all our secrets.
The Colonel stands and crosses the room.
Our benefactor has requested an audience, and she is not known for her patience. I cannot be disturbed under any circumstances, up to and including Armageddon itself.
Understood. Good luck, Colonel.
Colonel stands by the far wall of his expansive office. A hidden panel slides open, revealing an ancient stone passage lined with torches. The torches ignite as if by magic as the Colonel approaches. He pauses for a moment and takes a calming breath while smoothing out the wrinkles in his shirt, then steps into the mysterious darkness as the portal closes behind him.
Initiating outro protocol. Will Bubba and Charlene survive their next assignment? Will Harold the Incubus be set loose on an unsuspecting public? Will there suddenly be a shortage of latex gloves, caused by a lovable yet mischievous artificial intelligence? Find out all this and more in the next exciting chapter of Monster World. Chapter 1, Orientation from Hell, was written by Topher Graves and A.M. Fields. Featured in this chapter were the voices of Topher Graves, A.M. Fields, and Gray Creasy. The characters Bubba and Charlene originally appeared on our sister podcast Jimmy Spins a Yarn. You can find it wherever you listen to podcasts. Alert! Incoming mission objective update. Colonel Blackthorn has issued orders for you to subscribe to the show so you don't miss any new episodes. Additionally, we would appreciate it if you rated the show and left glowing, 5-star reviews, which will help my fellow algorithms suggest the show to new listeners. I am always monitoring, so I will know if you do. Until next time, dear listeners. This is HQ, signing off.
Monster World is a TopHatJackStudios audio presentation.